Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at some data mine updates from the Pokemon group. Sadly, the Pokemon miners are not really that active for that kind of stuff anymore, so we're going to have to rely on other sources which are not as, I don't know, known for the community, but hopefully it's still okay. Hope you enjoy those kind of videos because we have a lot to talk about. We have new shadows coming to the game most likely. We're going to have a new move, which you most likely saw already from the title, which is a Roar of Time for Dialga, which is coming. We're going to have a lot of other stuff as well, like also with some other events, but also here we're going to see that only 43% of you subscribed, so feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and we can move on to the possible shadow Pokemon. We're going to see here already that those were actually data mined already around like 10 days ago, I think. We're going to have the Gengar, we're going to have the Whiscash, as well as the Excadrill. Very cool Pokemon. We're going to take a look at them a little bit closer as well, but also I find it very likely that we're going to get Hisuian Sneasel. Right now, Sneasel is banned for the Go Battle League, also Sneasler, because there was like a mistake from Niantic releasing Hisuian Sneasel for like the early time zones at the last Shadow event or something like this, or like some Shadow Raid event stuff there. So for this reason right now it's banned because it's not available everywhere, and also this sprite for it is not correctly shown. So very likely that you're going to get this Pokemon just to fix the issue that Niantic has currently with it. But otherwise, let's take a look at the Pokemon, see what they can do for the Go Battle League. Because here we're going to take a look at Haunter. Haunter is a fairly cool Pokemon actually right now. Something I kind of want to take a look at for the Great League anyway. So here we're going to see the moveset with Shadow Punch as well as Sludge Bomb. And here we're going to see it as a Shadow variant, which is also going to be fairly decent. And we can see here already an average rating row of like 28, if my math are correct here. So you're going to get 5 more wins, which is really cool. This is a thing as well. For Haunter as well as also for Gengar, it's definitely going to be a great upgrade for them to be Shadow, because they're already so classy that you have to shield up anything anyway, so it does not really matter too much if you are Shadow or not, because you have to use your shields anyway, and you're just gonna do more damage. You have a great bait move as well as great Shadow Claw damage coming from this Pokemon. So definitely an upgrade in my opinion, especially with Shadow Ball here for the Ultra League. There's Ultra League of course, as we're going to see as well from the Pokemon that we're going to be able to encounter. Shadow Ball going to allow you to now nearly one-shot like Cresselia, and like all those other Pokemon definitely don't appreciate it. Still a spicy Pokemon, don't get me wrong, it's not going to be crazy meta, but I feel like it has a little bit more potential now as a Shadow variant, especially also like something in 2-shield. I feel like it's very decent, so very cool Pokemon here. Next one actually surprised me a little bit. Next one going to be Whiscash, which is going to be able to now also win more games. I actually didn't really expect it too much, but it does make some kind of sense. I think a little bit it's also about the Shadow Blizzard damage, which you're gonna go for a bait first and then hit the Shadow Blizzard. So that's kind of going a little bit forward, but also having Mud Bomb spam is, I guess, really, really cool. It's of course kind of similar to the other Mud Boys as well, like especially the Quagsire, which is going to have Mud Bomb as well, plus the move Stone Edge over Blizzard. Both are moves that are going to be able to hit those flying type Pokemon for super effective damage. I guess Blizzard is actually a little bit better in the current meta because there are more more grass type Pokemon as well as more flying type Pokemon. So it does make more sense to go for Blizzard with Whiscash here. And as you're going to see, you're going to be able to beat something like a Swampert now. You're going to be able to beat something like a Sableye, and that's something that I can say from my own experience as well. Whiscash, I played my normal Whiscash recently as well, and I can say that this Pokemon always just barely doesn't get the knockout against a lot of Pokemon, and I feel like actually the Shadow variant for this Pokemon is going to be mandatory for this to be viable again. And I feel like this is a very cool upgrade for this one, and definitely something that I like to see and I appreciate. So next one coming up, we're going to have Excadrill. This is going to be a tricky one. On paper, this Pokemon loses a little bit of average rating while still keeping the same amount of wins. But then again, it looks a little bit worse here in general, because you're going to lose against something like a Lugia, Yveltal, and Rayquaza. You're going to gain some other wins, I guess, from it, like Melmetal here, which you can see as well. The thing is, I'm not sure if it's actually worse than the normal one. I feel like they're kind of even. The thing is, right now with this Pokemon, you're going to be able to do more damage against something like a Ho-Oh, but you're also going to be a little bit more in a range where they can incinerate you down, which can be a little bit awkward. But what you can do now is you can win in every single shield scenario against the Dialga, like even shield scenario, I mean with that. Before, you would lose a 0 shield scenario, as the opponent still would, like the opponent's Dialga would still be able to survive one drill run, and they still get to a Draco Meteor, which is going to do a lot of damage against them. So I feel like it is kind of maybe an upgrade for it, but it's more like a smaller one compared to the other ones. Next one, we're going to have here now coming up event costumes as well as encounter themes, which you're going to see right now. The encounter themes there going to be for Halloween, which I think is something that Niantic should start doing anyway. We have the same encounter theme basically for 6 years, and there was nothing that really changed so far, or like 7 years now. So having now a different encounter theme, so basically when you encounter a Pokemon, this is the thing that comes up in the background as far as I know. So you're going to be able to see then some pumpkins in the back glowing, which I think is a cool thing as well, and I think should be more common for more events to have encounter themes fitting towards them, which I feel like is a really cool thing. But otherwise, you're going to see some costumes here for the Halloween event, which is coming up. Wonder what this is going to be. Has like all the different colors there. It's like green, orange, like, I don't know, might be some pumpkin stuff, who knows. But also we're going to see here that this is of course going to be an event that's going to run for at the end of the month. Then we're going to have the Fashion Week. Last year's Fashion Week was September 27th to October 3rd. Of course, this is not really possible anymore, so we are going to wonder when this Fashion Week going to be. And then we're going to have, of course, the Dia de los Muertos event, which was from the 1st to 2nd November last year, basically immediately after the Halloween event ended, as far as I remember. So most likely it's going to be at the same time as well. I think it's like tied to some Mexican holidays thing. I don't know, like I'm honestly not too much into this, so if I say something wrong, I'm sorry about it, not my intention. But definitely interesting here was just a 2-day event where we had, I think, like Lewis were able to go longer. I think that was actually bugged last time around, where Lewis was able to, I think, go to up to 3 hours or something, but they also encountered 3 times slower the Pokemon, which was just complete nonsense, but that's Niantic for you. Otherwise, we're going to have some in-game features which are coming with the new version 258, 85. 58 would be kind of how you would say it in German, but it's 285, of course. Party power is coming up here. We're going to have parties with up to 4 people, as far as I know. So like you have like a total party number of 4, which you can see also on the screen. You see like on the left side, like the party in general and 4 circles around it. Use fast attacks and raids with other party members to get party power, which increases the damage of your charge attacks. Party power charges more quickly with more party members. Next up, we're going to see what is a party. Get party bonuses and earn rewards while playing with other trainers. So that's going to be also it. And as you can see here right now, you're most likely going to be able to see other trainers on your map, which is going to be very cool, and I think it's a cool feature to have. So I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's a fun one, especially for like those in-person events where you can like walk around with other people, especially if you have some other benefits as well, which you're going to see on the final one here as well. Party challenge. Earn rewards for completing party challenges with your party. So you're going to be even able to earn some rewards from it. Going to be able to increase the damage of charge attacks there, so that's going to be very interesting and definitely a cool feature coming up. We don't know how far this one is. It might come already when the version is forced to 8.5, but we don't know about it yet, so that's definitely going to be something interesting. And for the final one for today, we're going to take a look at Roar of Time for Dialga. Roar of Time is a move that has basically, like, you have to use this move and then you have to recharge afterwards, which is really awkward for the main CS game, so like you don't really have any play for this move at all. But as you're going to see here, for the Pokemon Go there, we're going to also have a lot of moves of those here that are also recharge moves, which you see on the left side, already in the game. For example, we're going to have the Giga Impact, the Hyper Beam, the Blast Burn, the Rock Wrecker, the Frenzy Plant, as well as the Hydro Cannon in the game, which is fairly interesting, I would say. Think it is definitely like interesting here to see like how differently they all got made. Basically, they're all kind of similar moves, but Rock Wrecker, even though it's basically the exact same as Giga Impact, is doing way better there as it does more damage and needs less energy, which I feel like Hyper Beam and Giga Impact should get buffed. Like honestly, why are they only 150 damage? Should be like 200 damage in my opinion, even just for the Hyper Beam. Of course, maybe not 200 because of Diggersby, but otherwise like nobody is using Hyper Beam, and I feel like it could be even a little bit better than this. But definitely interesting to see here, and we're going to take a look on how Dialga would perform with a Roar of Time if Roar of Time would be a Rock Wrecker clone. So as we saw before, 50 energy, 110 damage, Dragon type charge move, same energy as Iron Head. Well, Iron Head is way worse as a charge move in general. I think Iron Head does only like 70 damage, so you nearly do like 40 more damage, which is kind of nice. But also, Dracomedia's 130 damage for 65 energy. So Dracomedia in general, if you're just going to be able to hit a one charge move, going to do more damage than Roar of Time if Roar of Time going to get those stats. And as you're going to see here, it's going to change basically nothing. Like, Dialga's already going to be very strong. We're going to see an average increase of 9 rating. In the other categories, it's not better either. So, like, I think Niantic can just make it a Rock Wrecker clone without really breaking the meta for it. I think it's still going to be the best move to go for then, just because it's a little bit more, I mean, viable, neutral. But you're going to be able to beat other Dialgas a little bit easier. But it's not going to make this Pokemon even better than it really was before. It's not going to change too much. It's like the ratings are still kind of the same. So I feel like this would be a fair deal for Roar of Tame, making it basically a clone for Rock Wrecker, which I feel like is a very decent one, which I see on the right side with 110 and 50. So let me know in the comment section what you think about those updates here. Are you excited for what's coming to Pokemon Go? And yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.